Brainy Bites, a daily dose for self-improvement.
Welcome back, my fellow learners and knowledge enthusiasts. Have you ever found yourself struggling to remember crucial information? Maybe it's that phone number you just can't seem to recall, or the endless list of facts for an upcoming exam. Well, you're not alone. In today's fast-paced world, the ability to remember and retain information is more critical than ever. But fear not, because in this video, we're diving deep into the fascinating realm of memory improvement. Hey there, I'm Matthew, and I'm thrilled to embark on this memory-boosting journey with you. We all know that retaining information can be a real challenge. From the everyday stuff to the truly important knowledge. Our brains sometimes seem like they have a mind of their own when it comes to forgetting things. But here's the exciting part: mastering your memory isn't some elusive superpower reserved for a select few. It's a skill that you can develop and enhance. In today's information age, where knowledge is power, effective memorization techniques are your secret weapons. They can make the difference between effortlessly recalling facts and feeling like you're sifting through a foggy memory maze. So, why should you care about this? Well, imagine the benefits: acing exams, impressing colleagues with your encyclopedic knowledge, or simply enjoying the confidence of knowing you can remember anything you set your mind to. Throughout this video, we'll unpack the mysteries of memory, uncover the science behind why we forget, and most importantly, equip you with not 1, not 5, but 15 proven techniques that will turbocharge your memory. Whether you need to cram for that last-minute test or want to remember crucial information for the long haul, we've got you covered. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to supercharge your memory. Because by the end of this video, you'll be armed with the tools and knowledge to remember anything and everything you want. Memory function. Alright, picture this: your brain is like a supercharged hard drive. But with a twist, it's got limited space. You see, it's not like your computer where you can keep piling on data. Our brains have to be a bit selective. Now, when you learn something new, it doesn't automatically go into the long-term memory vault. Instead, it starts off in what we call the short-term memory. It's like a mental post-it note. It's there, but it's not permanent. Forgetting curve. Here's where it gets really interesting. A brilliant researcher named Hermann Ebbinghaus cracked open the secrets of memory with his groundbreaking studies. What he found was a bit surprising. Turns out, just 1 hour after learning something new, over half of it can vanish from our memory banks. Crazy, right? And it doesn't stop there. Fast forward to the next day, and we're down to remembering only about 30% of what we learned. Think about it, it's like your brain doing some major spring cleaning, but maybe a bit too enthusiastically. Now, this might sound a bit discouraging, but don't worry. We've got some incredible techniques up our sleeve to help you outsmart this forgetting curve and remember things like a memory maestro. So, stick around, because we're about to unlock the secrets to supercharging your memory power. Spaced repetition. Now, let's talk about a game-changing technique that can revolutionize the way you remember things. Spaced repetition. It's like your secret weapon in the battle against forgetfulness. Definition of spaced repetition. So, what exactly is spaced repetition? Well, it's a clever approach to learning that involves strategically spacing out the times you review and repeat information. This technique takes advantage of your brain's natural learning curve, ensuring that you revisit the material just when you're on the verge of forgetting it. The technique in action. Here's how it works. Picture a scenario where you need to absorb information quickly, perhaps for an upcoming exam or presentation. Spaced repetition comes to the rescue. After learning something, you'll repeat it right away, reinforcing that initial contact with the material. Then, after a short 15 to 20 minutes break, it's time for round 2. This spaced approach to repetition allows your brain to process and internalize the information more effectively. But hold on, we're not done yet. The third repetition comes after 6 to 8 hours, followed by the final round 24 hours after the first encounter with the information. This well-structured approach ensures that the knowledge is not only retained but firmly planted in your long-term memory. It's like giving your brain the perfect workout routine tailored for optimal memory retention. So, whether you're prepping for an exam or just eager to remember things more effectively, spaced repetition is your go-to technique. Stick around because we've got more memory-boosting strategies lined up for you. Quick memorization technique. Now, imagine this scenario: you've got an important exam looming on the horizon, and time is not on your side. What do? Well, that's where our quick memorization technique swoops in to save the day. Context: preparing for exams or time-sensitive learning. This technique is tailor-made for those moments when you need to learn something pronto and retain it like a champ. It's your trusty sidekick for last-minute exam preps. Or when you've got to master a load of information in a hurry. Step-by-step process. Here's the secret sauce, broken down into a simple, 4-step process. 1. Immediate repetition. Right after you've learned something, do a quick repeat. This reinforces the fresh memory imprint in your brain, making it less likely to slip away. 2. Second repetition, 15 to 20 minutes. After a short breather of 15 to 20 minutes, return to the material and give it another go. This interval is scientifically designed to boost memory retention. 3. Third repetition, 6 to 8 hours. Fast forward to 6 to 8 hours later, and it's time for round 3. Your brain has had some time to digest the information, and this repetition cements it even further. 4. Final repetition, 24 hours. The cherry on top. Come back one final time, 24 hours after your first encounter with the information. This reinforces your memory and solidifies it in your long-term memory bank. This quick memorization technique is like your trusty memory jetpack, allowing you to zoom through learning tasks and remember things with ease. Whether it's that overnight cramming session or a last-minute project, this technique has got your back. But don't go anywhere because we've got even more memory-boosting secrets waiting for you. Quick memorization technique. Alright, let's talk about a technique that's like a turbo boost for your memory. We're diving into the quick memorization technique. And trust me, it's a game changer, especially when time is of the essence. Context: preparing for exams or time-sensitive learning. Picture this, you've got an exam or a deadline looming, and you need to absorb a ton of information in record time. That's exactly when this technique shines the brightest. It's your go-to ally for those situations where you need to learn quickly and remember for the long haul. Step-by-step process. Now, here's the magic formula, broken down into 4 simple steps. 1. Immediate repetition. Right after you've soaked in some new knowledge, don't wait, give it another go. This instant repeat strengthens the memory pathways, making it stick around longer. 2. Second repetition, 15 to 20 minutes. After a short break, around 15 to 20 minutes later, revisit the material. This sweet spot in time is scientifically proven to be just right for reinforcing your memory. 3. Third repetition, 6 to 8 hours. Fast forward to 6 to 8 hours later, and it's time for round 3. Your brain has had some time to process the information, and this repetition drives it even deeper into your memory. 4. Final repetition, 24 hours. Last but not least, return for a final round, a full day after your initial encounter with the information. This seals the deal, ensuring that what you've learned is firmly rooted in your long-term memory. This technique is like a rocket booster for your memory, making sure you not only remember quickly but remember well. So, whether it's a last-minute study session or an urgent work project, this technique has got you covered. But hey, don't go anywhere because we've got even more memory-boosting gems coming your way. Long-term memorization. Alright, folks, it's time to talk about the big leagues of memory retention, long-term memorization. This is where you take that knowledge and lock it in for the long haul. Importance of extended retention. Why is this so important, you ask? Well, think about it this way. Sure, you can remember something for a little while, but what about a week from now? A month? Or even a year? That's where long-term memorization comes in. It's all about making sure that what you learned today sticks with you for the long run. Detailed memorization plan. Now, let's break down the blueprint for long-term memory mastery. 1. Immediate repetition. Right after you've soaked in that new information, give it a quick review. This reinforces the initial memory imprint. 2. Second repetition, 20 to 30 minutes. After a brief intermission of 20 to 30 minutes, return to the material for round 2. This sweet spot in time is perfect for further embedding the knowledge. 3. Third repetition, 1 day. Fast forward a day, and it's time for round 3. Your brain has had a little time to digest the info, and this repetition ensures it's sinking in deeper. 4. Fourth repetition, 2 to 3 weeks. Now, here's where the long-term magic really happens. Return to the material after 2 to 3 weeks. This interval is fantastic for solidifying the knowledge. 5. Final repetition, 2 to 3 months. And finally, circle back one last time after 2 to 3 months. This ensures that what you've learned is firmly rooted in your long-term memory. This detailed plan is like your roadmap to becoming a memory master. It's not just about remembering for a day or a week, it's about locking in that knowledge for the long haul. Whether it's a language, a skill, or crucial information for your career, this technique ensures you're in it for the long run. And guess what? We've got even more memory-enhancing strategies up our sleeves, so stick around. Understanding and prioritizing information. Now, let's shift our focus to something equally crucial: understanding and prioritizing the information you're learning. It's not just about cramming facts, but about truly grasping the material. The significance of comprehension in learning. Think about it like this: when you truly understand something, it's like you're building a solid foundation. It's not just about memorizing words or formulas, but about comprehending the underlying concepts. This not only makes learning more enjoyable, but it also makes it stick. Understanding allows you to connect the dots, making it easier to recall and apply that knowledge later on. Prioritizing information for effective memorization. Next up, let's talk about being a bit choosy with what you're learning. It's like going to a buffet: you want to fill your plate with the most delicious and nutritious items. Similarly, when you're learning, it's essential to identify the key information, the stuff that really matters. Focus on those critical points first, and then, if you have the time and energy, dive into the finer details. This way, you're not just memorizing for the sake of it, but strategically absorbing the most important information. So, whether you're studying for an exam or trying to master a new skill, remember, comprehension and prioritization are your secret weapons in the memory game. Techniques for enhanced memorization. Now, let's delve into a treasure trove of techniques that can supercharge your memorization skills. These are like the secret weapons in your memory-boosting arsenal. A serial position effect. Ever noticed how you tend to remember things at the beginning and end of a list better than the stuff in the middle? That's the serial position effect at play. It's like your brain's way of giving a little extra love to the first and last items on your learning menu. Knowing this, you can strategically place important information at the beginning and end of your study sessions to maximize retention. B. Interference theory. Picture this: you're learning two similar things, and they start to blur together. That's where interference theory steps in. It's like a friendly reminder to take a breather between learning similar concepts. This way, you give your brain some space to process and store each piece of information properly, without it all becoming a jumbled mess. See learning opposites. Now, let's talk about a clever trick: learning opposites together. It's like yin and yang, opposites naturally complement each other. For instance, if you're learning a new language, pair up opposites like day and night. This way, if one slips your mind, the other serves as a helpful reminder. D-Mind Palace technique. Ever watched Sherlock Holmes effortlessly pull facts from his mind palace? You can do it too. This technique involves associating information with specific places or rooms in your environment. It's like creating a mental map that makes retrieval a breeze. Picture the thing you're learning in a specific room, and voila, it's easier to recall. Nail words and stories. Here's a fun one: nailing one thing to another. For example, when learning the word for nail in French, also connect it with related words like hammer and wall. It's like creating a web of connections that reinforce your memory. Using audio recorder. Remember your audio recorder in your smartphone? Well, they're still handy for memory work. Recording what you're learning and giving it a listen can be a game changer. It's like hitting your memory from two angles: first, you see it, then you hear it. The more senses involved, the stronger the memory. Visualizing and using body language. Lastly, let's talk about harnessing the power of body language. When you physically act out what you're learning, it's like giving your memory an extra boost. It triggers muscle memory, making the information easier to recall. So, whether it's striking a pose or using gestures, don't be afraid to get a little animated. These techniques are like a collection of keys that unlock the door to a powerhouse memory. Whether you're learning a new language, studying for an exam, or just expanding your knowledge, these strategies will make sure that what you learn, you remember. And there you have it, folks. We've covered a treasure trove of 15 memory-boosting techniques that are sure to take your learning game to a whole new level. From understanding the inner workings of memory to strategic repetition methods and a plethora of memory-enhancing strategies, you now have a toolkit that's ready to supercharge your brain power. But here's the real magic: it's time for you to put these techniques to the test. Dive into your next learning adventure, whether it's acing that exam, mastering a new skill, or just expanding your knowledge horizon. And hey, don't forget to share your experiences with us down below. We're eager to hear how these techniques are working out for you. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow learners, and hit that subscribe button, so you never miss out on more valuable insights. Thank you for joining us on this memory boosting journey. Until next time, happy learning.